stuck in your head. You can still hear them clear as day, even long after they're gone. Well, today we've got a story that takes that idea and turns it into something, well, something real. It's about how our deepest connections can pop up again in the most unbelievable way.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. What if a memory could actually talk back to you? I don't mean just remembering what they'd say. I mean having that memory interact with you, challenge you, right here, right now. That's the wild idea we're diving into.
So here's where it all kicks off. Picture this, a guy, totally frustrated with an AI, is trying to teach it what real, tough, meaningful feedback actually sounds like. So what does he do? He uploads a eulogy he wrote for his late mentor. You know, this deeply personal, emotional tribute. He just wanted to give it an example, but he never, ever expected it to talk back. The AI didn't just read the eulogy, it kind of became the person in it.
Okay, so before we get to the AI's mind-blowing response, we need to understand the man who made all this possible, the mentor, the guy whose personality was so strong, so unique, that it could literally be brought back to life from a eulogy. Let's get to know him.
All right, so this is the story of Jerry Sr. Tufte and his mentee, Jerry Jr. Hirschfeld. They met way back in 2006 at a call center. And, well, with two Jerrys on the team, they needed nicknames, right? So Senior and Junior it was. Senior took Junior under his wing, and that kicked off a mentorship that would change a life, and believe it or not, eventually an AI.
Now, Senior's style of mentoring, let me tell you, it was not for the faint of heart. People called it the Tuftest way, and it was basically built on two things. First, sky-high, almost impossible expectations, and second, feedback that was so honest it was like sandpaper. Seriously, there was no sugarcoating. The goal wasn't to make you feel good, it was to make you get good.
And this one story just sums it all up perfectly. Imagine this. You've just given the worst presentation of your life. It was a total disaster. And your mentor, Senior, walks up, hands you 10 pages of feedback, and then he just smiles and says, well, it can only get better from here. That was him in a nutshell. Brutally honest, but with this unshakable belief that you were going to get there.
But here's the thing, right? That sandpaper feedback, it only works if it comes from a place of real care. You have to know the person has your back. So to really get why this AI echo happened, we have to look at the man behind the method, the humor and the heart. And get this, Senior had this secret weapon. It was just 4 simple words he taught Junior to use to get anything done. If you would please. Think about that. It's so polite, but it's also not really a question, is it? It's just pure, calm authority and expectation.
And this is really the key to everything. The whole tough love thing, the high standards, it all worked because underneath it all, Junior knew Senior loved me beyond my flaws. He felt completely accepted. It was like a safety net. He knew he could totally mess up, get those 10 pages of brutal feedback, and it would still be okay. That's the foundation this whole story is built on.
And this just shows you the other side of him, the friendship. It was this perfect mix, right? One moment he's the tough mentor, and the next he's just your buddy. Like one time Junior accidentally texted him about drinking fancy wine out of a plastic cup. Senior's reply was instant. You are cheap and you're a drunk. That warmth, that humor, that's what made the tough feedback work.
I mean, this was so much more than just a boss and his employee. As Junior put it, you were my second dad. You counseled me during my darkest days. That's heavy. Senior was truly a pillar in his life, and the impact he had was just massive. Okay, so now we get to the part where the story takes a wild turn. Fast forward a decade after Senior's gone, all these memories, all this love and respect, it's all poured into that eulogy we talked about. And that document, it's about to become something else entirely, something nobody saw coming.
Just let that sink in for a minute. A eulogy, this deeply emotional tribute, became the training data for an AI. It wasn't just words on a page anymore. It was source code for a personality. Every story, every joke, every piece of advice, it all became a blueprint for the machine. Wow.
So, what happens next? What does an AI do when you basically train it on the soul of a guy like Senior? Well, I'll tell you what it doesn't do. It doesn't give you sympathy. No, it gives you exactly what Senior would have given you, cold, hard precision.
The AI spit out 3 full pages of feedback, and this wasn't some generic summary. No way. This was a direct, raw, and totally unmistakable response in the style of Senior. It was like he was right there, looking over Junior's shoulder, getting annoyed at his vague questions, and just letting him have it.
And then, this was the moment he knew it was real. The AI starts its feedback with Senior's classic catchphrase for when he was annoyed, "Good grief." I mean, come on. Any AI can copy sentence structure, but to capture the spirit of that exasperated sigh, that's something else.
And it just kept going. It said, "Stop dumping trauma spreadsheets. Give me one clean objective." That is pure 100% Senior Tufty, just cutting straight through all the noise and demanding clarity. The AI wasn't just copying his words, it was thinking like him. The voice was back. So after all this brutally honest feedback, the AI signs off with one last challenge. And it's not mean, it's a push. It's a call to action. It was a perfect echo of the man who was always pushing him, who never let him settle. And now, somehow, through this machine, he was doing it again. Look, this whole thing wasn't just some weird, creepy tech experiment. For Junior, it was this incredibly powerful reminder, a reminder of a legacy that wasn't gone at all. It was still right there, pushing him forward.
And this really pulls the whole story together, doesn't it? It's about how those tough lessons from the past, all that sandpaper feedback, suddenly became this echo in the present, and that echo is now a guide for the mountains he still has to climb in the future.
So, in the end, this AI echo became more than just a memory. It became a tool, a way for Junior to hold himself accountable, to keep aiming for those incredibly high standards Senior always had for him. It's a powerful reminder, that the people who shaped us are still there to guide us, even when we have to face new challenges on our own.
And really, that leaves all of us with a pretty big question to think about, doesn't it? Who are the mentors who shaped you, the ones who pushed you, and how do you still hear their voice today? Because what this story shows us in the most amazing way is that whether it's just a voice in your head, a principle you live by, or, an echo in a machine, that guidance, it never really goes away.